But oh my gosh, it's a baby. So wanted to go ahead. Why does it say unmute myself? I'm already unmuted. All right. So I wanted to go ahead and first just say that the current status for those who are doing you know, that are doing going above and beyond. And so for those of you who are new, I do the $1,000 holler boxes. And so what that means is I basically incentivize those who are just doing a phenomenal job and hitting at least $1,000. I also have the You Slay 2K boxes as well. And it's just to help hype up those that are doing an amazing job in their business and stuff. So the 4 people, 5 including myself, the 4 people who have earned the $1,000 holler boxes so far is Jen Hernandez, Maggie, Courtney Meyer, and then Amanda. So I wanted to just really quick congratulate the team so far. We still have a couple days left in this month, so congratulations. And then of course everybody who's working their business and everything, great job. So this is basically just a roundtable discussion and just touching base with everyone to see how everybody's doing, what plans they have so far for this month or moving forward, going into the holidays. So I don't know who was in line today, but I was in line and I got what I needed, but I didn't have any pre-orders. And apparently a lot of people did pre-orders today, which was just a hot mess because I personally think that pre-ordering on such a unique sale like this would be like devastating for my customers if I don't get them, you know? So I'd rather just let them get in line themselves for flash sales and massive sales like this, which is what I let my customers do. And some of them missed out on what they were trying to get and some got what they needed. And there were a lot of directors who had like 10, 20 list longs of people who wanted certain bundles and they weren't able to get them. So I just wanted to see how everybody else was doing today, how you guys prepared for it, and just kind of what happened. Anybody want to speak? And if you didn't do it, that's fine too. Just say you didn't have a chance to prep for the Cyber Monday sales.
I didn't have time really. I mean, I made follow-ups and let them know about the sales going on, but I really didn't reach out for pre-orders. I'm not sure if it was just, I mean, I tried pre-ordering, you know, I offered it on my postings, but nobody really reached out, so I didn't push it further, if that makes sense. I know the holidays coming around, everybody likes to personally go out and go Black Friday shopping, which I get. Again, this is a new year, so I've never had to tackle any of these before. So I think hearing and seeing what others are doing and offerings, things like that, maybe in the next season, it'll give me time to prep for something that, you know, will click and might interest some folks. So I'm taking this year as like an opportunity to just gather what I've heard and seen from what other consultants do and see maybe if I could twist a few things and put together my own kind of style with an offering, things like that. I think next year will probably be more into pushing that.
Yeah. And you know, it was a really weird month for us, like Scentsy. So I've been doing it the last 2 years, and this will be my 3rd November with Scentsy, right? And November has historically been my highest month every single year. It has been my highest PRV month. This year, it was not. And and speaking with my peers who are also directors who have been doing this for a while, they all are saying consistently the same thing. Like it is very unusual that November is slower. I mean, and it's slow for some people and some people are killing it. Like one of them was saying her new girl who just joined October 31st has already sold 2K. You know, so like some people are doing really well and some are just, you know, and are feeling kind of the impacts of what I think is the economy. You know, I think a lot of people were holding out for whatever Black Friday was going to look like. And I think a lot of companies kind of did, if I was following the companies that, you know, I was looking at to buy stuff, they kind of just like put their sales out on Thursday for Thanksgiving. And then it's the exact same sale all the way through Cyber Monday. And like some of them only did 20% off. Some of them did really like, you know, useless sales according, you know, like I think they didn't do very great sales at all. And I'm just like, really? Like I held out for all this and then like there was nothing. And then you run the risk of holding out for sales and then things sell out. So I don't know what our customers specifically are thinking when it comes to Scentsy, but I think a lot of them were holding out for something special. I hyped it up a lot. And I mean, out of Black Friday, I think I got 505 was what I ended up with in sales. And then for Cyber Monday today, I think I got like 450. And so between the 2 days, I did get $1,000 in sales, but um, I'm just barely hitting 2K now. And usually like I was expecting to be like at 3.5K by the end of this month. So for me, like that's lower than what I was anticipating. And I've been like rocking the heck out of those posts. And what I haven't done enough is go live. Maybe I need to go live tomorrow. I don't know. So I'm struggling too. Jasmine, what about you? Have you tried anything new or different?
No. No. I think for like after the Black Friday stuff, I was like, well, it doesn't really look like it looks like if I do discounts, I'm gonna have to come out of my own pocket, and I can't. And all that was offered was the same things that we already have, like the bundles, like get this many bars. So I was like, okay, well, I don't think apparently Scentsy doesn't really do, anything
Right.
big discounts. And I was like, well, well, forget it. I'll just, do what I've been doing. I actually, well, I'm kind of new. I got a sale, like the first sale was myself. I gifted someone like a Scentsy warmer. And then, but I actually had a family member that I told about Scentsy, and she doesn't even live in the state, but I sent her a message like, hey, I'm doing this, and she purchased, and I was like, okay, excited that, because she had already knew about Scentsy, and I was like, wow, so people do know about Scentsy. So I'm just, like I said, I'm kind of new, so I'm just seeing what's going on and trying different things. I did have an idea that I got from YouTube about like, there's a place I used to work. The lady said on YouTube that if I got a warmer, I could go and set it up at a place because it's like a small business, but people come there like regular. So I could set up a warmer there and then have like a lead box. Or put like a QR code and people could purchase it or something. So I was wanting to try that. I just have to decide which warmer to get and stuff like that. So
yeah. So I actually just did that on a live maybe last week or 2 weeks ago. I think I just did a live on that. And it's basically, don't even buy a warmer. Use one of the ones that you got for your kit, and take that. Well, but it's not selling you anything in your house, right? So sometimes you have to kind of sacrifice a little bit, so that way you don't have to come out of pocket. Now, if you want to come out of pocket and purchase it, just do something in the clearance section so it's a little bit cheaper. But you can always take your warmer and like one of the examples was your hairstylist, whoever did your braids, go to them and talk to them and be like, hey, can I set up my Scentsy warmer here? I will give you a bar of wax to use. And, you'll have this place smelling amazing, but at the same time, you'll allow me to leave my catalogs there too, so that if anybody goes, oh my gosh, what's that smell? You can just redirect them and say, oh, it's our Scentsy lady. There's her catalogs right there. If you want to call her, give her a call, order some stuff, her magazine's right there so you can look through it. And then it sparks that conversation. They're sitting there, at the hairdresser for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours on end, give them something to look at. And so by having your QR codes ready and like 1 or 2 catalogs already there, they can just flip through it like they do hair magazines, like and just mindlessly flip through it. So it's a really great way to get your name out there.
So you think I should just I don't know if I should leave catalogs. So I should leave catalogs and that's it?
Leave like 2, and then if you want to make a couple flyers or something, do some extra flyers so it's less expensive. I mean, I don't think catalogs are too expensive. They don't overcharge for their catalogs. But leave like 2 catalogs, and then if you have some brochures or anything like that, or make some flyers with your QR code or just like a piece of paper, with your information and your contact information and a QR code on there so that people can take that and bring home with them. But you have the benefit at a hair salon that they're actually sitting there for a couple hours and they need something.
Or even a nail salon. They're waiting to get their nails. Should I leave testers? Like, no?
No. Let them leave one good wax bar that you enjoy. If you want to do a holiday one, or like kind of talk to the owner and be like, you want something fresh or you want something bakery, like what do you want it to smell like? You want it to smell like Hobby Lobby in here, or do you want it to, like what do you want it to smell like? And then if they're like, oh, give me one of those, then you choose what you want to leave behind for them. And like, I think one wax bar is a good investment. If you just leave one wax bar with them and say, here, change this out every 2-3 days, put like 2 cubes in there, and this should make the whole place smell amazing. And then that way, the potential customers will smell it and buy it. Like it's easy because once you get it under their noses, that's what starts selling it for you. It's super easy from there. So they just need to experience it. Yeah. So you might have to just sacrifice your warmer for a week. And just say like, let me try it for a week during your busy weekend, drop it off on a Thursday and then pick it up like on a Tuesday, and let them like change out the cubes like once or twice during that period so that they can stay nice and fresh. But show them how to use it, like tell them like, this is how you remove the wax. Make sure you clean all the wax first. You pour it out, or you just absorb it with some cotton balls. They have cotton balls all over the hair salon. So just, absorb it and then drain it out, because if you add wax on old wax, it's going to dilute it. So you actually want it to be strong and fragrant. So you like make sure you clean out the old wax first. Mm-hmm. And by you demonstrating to them and like the people who work there, they might even buy it, like you've already generating like interest through just the workers there too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's good one. You're welcome. Ashley, I know you said you might not come off mute, so you just nod or tell me if you want to come off mute. If you start talking, I'll shut up. But so other than that, I wanted to kind of prep for December. November was a good month, but not a great month like I'd hoped it to be. December, you have a lot of last minute people. So make sure that your people know what the last minute is for your deadlines for ordering. I don't have it super handy right now, but you know what, let me pull it up. So Alaska is going to be different because you're going to have to order a little bit sooner in Alaska. For those of us here stateside, it's a little bit more predictable. So here, Christmas cutoff. Okay, December 8th for anything that's going APO and Guam to military addresses overseas. December 12th for Canada and Mexico, and then December 15th for the United States. Where's Alaska in here? What do we consider to be Alaska for you, Courtney? Is it the APO addresses? Should we like cut off be December 8th for you guys? I don't know.
I was looking at the dates and I was thinking a little earlier just in case, but then again, I'm questioning the cutoff date because I've noticed as soon as somebody orders it, within like 2 days, it's being shipped. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm trying to rethink, but I'm maybe gonna do my cutoff at maybe the 10th, 11th, somewhere right in there, just a couple days before the actual like, lower 48 date. But I'm gonna see how, when it gets closer to that date, if people are ordering, if I order, how quick it ships, and then kind of base it with that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I like to do the cutoffs. Well, I usually match the cutoffs. They start like staffing extra, I think, is what they're doing right now for the holidays, leading up to the holidays, which is why it's so fast. Like almost instantly, they're starting to print and ship, which is amazing. And that's not usual. Sometimes it gets really backed up and slow. So that's really, really good. And then just make sure you give yourself enough time to package it up and make it look cute and deliver it too, So don't give yourself too tight of a window. Make sure you're not stressing yourself out with the tight deadlines either. So whatever's best for you, if if you get a box in and you feel like you have a groove going that you're able to just start packaging it the next day and then you're able to deliver the next night, then you know what your timeline looks like. But if you're like me and you have to wait until the weekend to, package and deliver, then, I need a couple of days during the week to do that. So, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so as far as products on hand, you guys want to make sure that you're very careful. Scentsy preaches never ever have inventory on hand. But as you move along in your business, it's very easy to have inventory on hand because you start using those host credits towards your own products. And then you just kind of start accruing a lot of products on hand, not because you're trying to build an inventory, but just because naturally it happens because you're using your freebies and half offs. So when you guys do have them, be very careful about making sure you're compliant on how you're saying it. So don't flat out go, I have 5 of these on hand, can deliver tomorrow. You don't want to say that because that's considered non-compliant. You can post a picture and say, interested in this? Shoot me a message if you want to buy some. And then when you shoot me a message, I can tell you, oh, I have 5 of them right now. If you want to buy them, I can drop them off tomorrow. But you don't want to publicly say, I have 5 of these on hand right now, can deliver tomorrow, because then that's considered you like holding on to inventory, and that's like non-compliant for Scentsy. So because we're approaching Christmas and because we're fearful of these deadlines and stuff, we might have the tendency to want to buy a little extra every time we put an order in. And so if you do, that's okay. Just make sure you're wording it very cleverly so that you don't get dinged for compliance, And you can also, so this is terrible packaging because it doesn't fit. But like, if I wanted to do one of these and it's like, it says hands down, you're the best around, and I'm packaging these up for Christmas, I can post a picture of this on December 10th and say, let me know if you want some hand soaps to gift to your coworkers or your employees or whatever. But I won't tell them I have 10 of these on hand. I'll just tell them, hey, if you're interested in getting some stuff for your coworkers, let me know and I can get some to you. But they don't need to know that you have them on hand. You just have to be smart about how you say it so that it doesn't sound like you're like flat out saying I have inventory and I can deliver it tonight. Just be smart about that. So that's pretty much it when it comes to that. But I just wanted to do a quick round robin and see how everybody's, if you can list one thing that you feel like you can improve from what has happened so far this month. And then another thing of what you felt you did really, really well and you want to like repeat it again because it was so successful for you. So for me, one thing I need to improve, and Jen made fun of me once on a live or on a training, is the good idea fairy concept. Like I have all these really great ideas and I do like, for example, this one right here. This is a perfect example. I have great ideas and I go through and I make the edit when I have time, but I don't execute and take the pictures. So I have yet to take pictures of these because I was waiting for a different bag to come in. Well, that bag came in like over the weekend and I haven't had a chance. But what I wanted to do was get this and then have like cute little pictures so that I can market. But again, good idea fairy. I have lots of great ideas. I just don't have time to execute them. And that is my problem. And it has always been a problem. Like I have so many amazing ideas. I just don't have time to ever take pictures. When it comes to something I did really, really well, I was really happy with how my cupcake liner stuff came out. So I'm looking at some right now, but I have purchased a bunch of these from TJ Maxx Home Goods. And they're cupcake liners and the fragrance flowers fits perfectly inside them. So I did a whole setup and then I took pictures of all of them and then I edit them really cute. So I was really happy about those. If I can stay ahead of the holidays by doing stuff like that, that's what I need to get better at. And so I was really proud of myself for getting that done. All right, who else? One good thing, one thing for improvement.
I'll go. Improve wise, I definitely need to, I've been trying to get with the flow on the email, I don't know, form or however it is on, I think it's the dashboard. You can email out that way, or you could do like your own through your own personal email. I'm having a hard time with creating templates and things like that, getting everything in one kind of email with like photos and things if I need to, and then send it out. I've seen a template a while back before, but it's not working for me, and I'm not sure how to improve with getting emails put together. I've attempted trying to make my own template and send it out that way, but it didn't work. So for now, I'm just emailing. Like right now I have one gal that likes to do email, so I've just been emailing her just one, like putting things together like my own, just writing it. So I'd like to try and make it easier. So that's something I'm gonna look into and work on that. And then on top of follow-ups. And then what works for me, I'm gonna continue doing what I worked when I did back in December, or excuse me, October, for those boo buckets. Remember we talked about that? That was a good hit for me. I know I had people ask if I'm going to do a Christmas theme, and I told them yes. So I'm going to be working on Christmas buckets or Christmas stockings, something like that, where it looks fun. I'm going to make a kid version, and then I'm going to make an adult version. So that way the adult version, you know, it's got like something cute. I know I sent you a picture, and I promise I'll like make a collage of them, put them on the page so everyone can see. But my aunt had ordered the little hedgehog buddy. So I put together a pair of socks in there, like Christmas socks, bottle of champagne, like a little bottle of champagne, chocolate, and some sample scents in the bottom of the box. So that's going to her, and that's her 21 and up like page, because the kids one, I don't think she wants to paint a little truck. So just getting her a cozy box to go for her. And then a kid version, I'll probably go with the paint set and things like that in there.
Awesome. So for the email, are you using Google Docs at all?
Mm-hmm.
And so what's the struggle? Is it trying to like size it correctly or link it, or like what's the struggle there?
So I can make it to where, sorry. Okay, go play. So with the template, I could see it come together, but when I link it and try to like form it to go to the email, it's not working out for me. So I'm having a hard time getting it to the email and then sending it out that way, I guess you'd say. I've tried it on the docs that you had sent me. I'm not figuring it out. It's not 100% clear for me.
Okay, we'll touch base offline. I think it's something super simple that you might be just not noticing. But definitely Google Docs for me works really, really well. And I know some of the other directors were asking me how I sent my email. And I told them, because like from the very beginning of my business, I just started putting people's names and emails onto a spreadsheet. And then I just keep that spreadsheet going. Every time I get a new customer, I keep adding them. And then so they essentially will be added to my thing. I never have ever emailed directly from the workstation. For me, I couldn't figure that out. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go old school Gmail. I can time it on Gmail to schedule send another day. Like my Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales, I had all of them timed to go out, you know, a week ahead of time. So I was able to like already get those done. So I didn't have to sit there and send it out at a weird time or anything like that. So yeah, we'll touch base offline, because I think it's something super simple. And once you get in the groove of that, once you get one good template going, I just keep copying that template, and then I kind of like change it up so that it's, you know, more relevant to whatever I'm talking about next. But at the bottom, I always put the clearance section, because I think everybody always wants to know, oh yeah, they like be reminded that there's a clearance section. And then I put my VIP group in case they're not already in there, because, you know, there's so much more news in the VIP page than there is on an email.
Okay.
But yeah, I think your niche is definitely those buckets, those theme buckets, and hopefully you'll get invited into that themes group that I sent earlier. But it is amazing. Like people have sold like 60, 70 buckets at a time on those things. It's just crazy.
I wanted to ask you about that, and I can ask you off meeting, but I tried to accept that or join, and they denied me 3 times, and I don't know why. So I don't know if you're able to like see who the monitors are or the admins are, but I can't message them because I don't know who it is.
I'll find out. They've been doing that to all of my people for at least 6 months now. So I don't know if it's, you know, like we're not seeing the questions, or they're just overwhelmed and they don't want to do anymore. I don't know what it is, but they're not. That's why I stopped inviting people. But it's such a good page.
Yeah.
But I'll double check and see if I can find out why.
Okay.
Yeah. Jasmine and Ashley, do you ladies have anything to share?
What did you want us to do? One
thing one improvement and one thing that went really well for you.
Okay, so one thing that, well, I don't know what I did really well. I'm just gonna say I did put sample packets together for people that I asked people like, hey, I just started doing this fragrance business. Did you want some samples so you can see? And they said, yeah. And I made them. One of the things though is that when it came time to give them, well, when I got done making it, I felt like weird about being like, hey, so I made your sample packet. You know, I got weird about giving it to them, and I would put them off. I did, you know, this week start like giving them out, but it took me a couple of weeks to even get up the
courage.
yeah, to even do that. I was like, I know I need to give these out.
Yeah.
I just was scared. So
Scared. Okay. Well, and you said you've mentioned it to them before, or they'd never heard of it or anything.
well, they never, so as far as I know, they don't know anything about Scentsy, except when I told them like, hey, I'm doing this fragrance business. I sent them the link to the PWS and I was like, do you want some samples? And they would say, yeah, okay, what kind of scents do you like? And I, ordered the stuff, got stuff packaged. But it was the, reaching back out to them like, hey, your packet's ready, let's meet up, or, let me drop it off to you or something like that. I just started getting weird about that, like actually meeting them and giving it to them, because I was kind of weirded out about that.
Oh, they're expecting it. They're expecting it because you told them, right? You told them the first time about it, and then you're ready to give it to them. So now, I mean, it's just one of those things where this is what Courtney Reyes says, right? She says, you know what? Just text them and walk away. And then she says, and that's the best thing to do. Like when you first start, you're so scared about, like, even when you're trying to find people to join your team, you're so scared about having that conversation and about being rejected. Like every no leads to a yes eventually. And I will take 100 no's if it led to one yes, but at least I know I tried, So in this case, if the fear is handing out the samples, the thing is, you've already broke through that barrier by saying, hey, I'm doing this and I'm making samples. Would you like some? You've already started that conversation. So now they're just waiting for you to follow up, So now it's like, just stay committed to the follow through with that and say, okay, like, oh, hey, Jasmine, guess what? I've got your samples ready. When can we meet up? Or, like, I'll be at church tomorrow. Can I hand it to you then? Or, is that a good time for you then? And then, just a very like, not hey girl message, but just like, hey, by the way, I got I got the stuff. The greatest segue would be like, oh my gosh, Courtney, I saw pictures of your little girl. She's so cute. Like, oh, and by the way, I have the samples I told you about. Like you kind of segue it in by complimenting something about what they just posted on social media, and then be like, oh my God, actually the baby you were holding, whose baby is that? She's so cute, or he's so cute. You do one of those and then you segue right into, oh, and by the way, I got those samples I told you about, and it's so much easier when you actually have a genuine conversation, and then you lead into the sales. And it's not really even sales. You're actually offering to give them free stuff. So it's not even sales yet, you're just saying, hey, I have samples. So yeah. And then, and if that scares you, and a text message is what you're doing, then just text it and then walk away, walk away and don't look at it for like 30 minutes, walk away from your phone, and yeah.
Do the samples lead to sales? Like I heard somewhere like, okay, if they can smell it, you can sell it, or they'll buy it and sell the stuff or whatever. But does that actually work? I mean, I'm doing it, but does it actually work?
It works if you follow up. Courtney, were you going to say something?
Yep. I was just going to say it's important to, for me, I've noticed a big difference by building a relationship with somebody, like how you just said, your daughter, blah, blah, blah. I think it's important to build a relationship first and then slowly dive into what you're reaching out about. It makes them feel like it's not all about sales, like you truly genuinely care. That's just what works for me.
And I think that's where most people are successful, is having those types of conversations first, you know, and then kind of going into it. And sometimes you'll find, like, because you make yourself known to other people that you're a Scentsy consultant and you're posting like you should, you're posting regularly. If you're posting every 1 to 5, like every 4th day you're posting something, that's not enough. Like I always say, you have to post like at least like 3 to 4 times a day, because people need to see that message at least 7 times before they actually like click and realize what you're doing. And sometimes they don't even know what you're doing. They just see you reposting something. It could be an ad on Facebook for all they know. They don't know, you know, like what you're doing. So they have to kind of see the consistency before they're curious. And they're like, oh, hey, Jasmine, what are you doing? Like, what is this Scentsy stuff that you're doing? But yes, creating those relationships is super important. And a lot of times I found people, like I'll say, oh, hey, happy birthday. Like I'll go through each day and tell everybody happy birthday. Or if I see like an old birthday message, I'll jump on and say happy belated birthday, because I feel like just me doing that shows that like, you're not just a person on my friends list, like you're somebody that I'll take the time to say happy birthday to. Like my husband is the first one to say, if somebody doesn't wish him a happy birthday, they're dead to him. He's cutting them loose. He's unfriending them. Like that's my husband, you know? And so because my husband is so dramatic, I realized maybe there's other people out there like that. So I try to be like the friendly one that's like, happy birthday. And I mean, these days it's so easy because like on Facebook, it's so easy to just click it and it like the prompt's already there for you. And then, it's not even me writing it. I don't even have to write it out anymore. It's just there and I click it. So it's even easier for me to do that. But yeah, I try to make those conversations. If I see somebody post a picture of their children, I'll always jump on and be like, oh my gosh, they've gotten so big, or if I see a picture of like an old school friend and their parents, be like, oh my God, your mom looks great. Tell her I miss her, and just little conversations like that helps to like build your relationship, and it boosts your algorithm too, because now they start seeing your stuff. So it's a two-way like tactic, where 1, you're building relationship, and then 2, you're boosting your algorithm, because now suddenly you commented on their thing and now they click on your profile and they're like, oh wait, what's Jasmine been doing? And then they're looking and then they're like, oh my gosh, she's selling Scentsy. I used to love Scentsy, and they haven't bought for a while, and then next thing you know, you have a new customer. So it just happens very organically.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, just shoot them a text and say, hey, by the way, I've got your samples that I mentioned, and then just walk away. Just walk away.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Thank you.
Welcome. Ashley, anything?
I was just gonna say, I think my biggest thing is I don't post enough.
Yeah.
Like, I'll post everything else.
Yes.
And then I think, because my parents, they live in Arizona. And they actually, before I even started selling Scentsy, my dad was like, girl, you gotta smell this. And I'm like, what is it? He told me, I was like, Dad, you could have bought it for me.
Oh my God.
But we don't communicate. We don't really like communicate as much as we did then that we do now. So now he's like, okay, well, when we got to stock up before Christmas, I know who to call.
Yeah.
And I'm actually flying out there in March. So that helps then as well. But I think, my biggest thing is I don't post enough.
Yeah.
Especially with everything that I have going on. And it's all over the place.
Well, and that's a good self-reflection, because I think a lot of people start realizing, oh, that's what I have to do. And that's why, like, I friend all my teams on social media, like I want you guys to see what I'm doing, and I want to lead by example. If you see me posting that many times, like y'all should be posting that many times, like, and it's, don't be embarrassed, like this is your business. And for some people, this is all they've got. And that's why some will work harder and some will quit faster. So it just depends on the individual. But I don't have to sell Scentsy, but I want to sell Scentsy, because Scentsy has given me more money so that I can do other things. Like I can pay for vacation, I can do this, I can eat dinner, I can do lots of fun things with my Scentsy money. And some people, that's all you got. And so, it just kind of depends on where your why is. Like revisit your why. Like, why did you start selling Scentsy? Because you needed money, or because you wanted to join a community of great people, right? Like it's one reason or another. Different people join Scentsy for different reasons, but nobody will ever know, and your business will not grow unless you're constantly doing it. And even like one of my accountability partners, she posts Scentsy directly onto her personal page all day, every day. If you look at it, she'll have some pictures of her kids and her doing stuff, but it's Scentsy, 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 Scentsy. And, you know, and she sells $8,000 to $10,000 in Scentsy every single month. And I was like, holy crap, maybe that's what I need to be doing, you know? And I post it onto my page and onto my group, but I don't post Scentsy as much on my personal page. So now whatever I'm putting on my page, I'm sharing it back to my personal page, and I'm putting it onto my stories, because I'm realizing I only have 160 people in my VIP group, but I have like 700 friends in my Facebook. So I still have more reach, you know, on my personal page. So I just started, you know, the longer you start doing this, the less you care about what people think about you. And the more you just start posting freely, because you realize you want to earn that trip, or you want to make that paycheck, or whatever it is that is your why. So revisit your why and just remind yourself, and you'll be okay. But yeah, but self-reflection is key, you know, understanding that you're not posting enough. Look at your peers and look at some of the great leaders and watch how they're doing things and how frequently they're doing it. And if you see that they're doing it frequently and they're successful, then that's the same model we should mimic too. And so, yeah.
Yeah, my dad says the lady they buy from, she actually has like a party every weekend. Like she'll barbecue, she'll have drinks. And I was like, you're getting drunk, Dad. That's why you're buying stuff. But
Yeah.
he's in love with Mystery Man, and he loves Luna. And I was like, I got you.
Yeah. Yes. We need him to refill ASAP.
Oh yeah. And he has nothing, but he tells me all the time, he's like, I'm retired from the Army. He's like, I have nothing better to do. So I was like, hey.
Yep. All right, ladies. All right. So going into December, is everybody ready for this dang Frozen drop? Because it is going to be madness. Okay. So we have a lot of people who have promised Scentsy, what is it? The Sven reindeer to a gazillion people. And so there's not going to be enough for all the consultants. Take pre-orders if you can. I have 2. I just need 2, but I have friends who have 100 and 50 and 30, and I'm just like, y'all are crazy. Like, you guys are going to be fighting for these, and not everybody's going to get it, and there's going to be a lot of unhappy consultants. But at the end of the day, we know that it's while supplies last. So, you know, just go into it with a happy spirit. Let your customers know, if you're collecting their money, that, you know, there's a good chance that this will sell out, and if it sells out, I will refund all of your money, you know, like whatever I couldn't get. So I have a friend that I need to reach out to. She bought 2 Svens and the little dinosaur thing, Bruni or whatever it's called. And so I need to let her know Bruni's probably going to be okay. Olaf is probably going to sell out, because Olaf is like $5. And Sven is $16, and that's going to sell out too. So be prepared. These are always like limited time offers, are always like hectic, but when it's limited time offer and it's on clearance and it's a holiday like type special item, it's going to be mayhem. So be careful. Remember that it's going to be midnight Pacific time on December 1st. So anything that drops on the 1st of the month is always at midnight Pacific time, which is 3 a.m. Eastern. It's like, yes, I'm up. Either I'm up or I wake up early enough to jump on and sit there and like rub my eyes for a little bit before it all starts. But it's going to be hectic. Okay. Do you guys have any questions or anything? No? All right. If there's no questions or anything, I think Courtney froze on us for a little. She's like in and out froze. But if there's nothing else, then I'll end it here. Thank you, ladies, for joining tonight. I think we had some really good discussions, so lots to think about. All right. Thank you. Bye. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.